players were back on board with the circuit here at Pyra. Here's the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers. And through the smoke we come.
What a crash!
Welcome to another Retro Motorsport. This week it's a pretty full-on show. We've got motocross, surf cats, motor racing and karting. We open this week with the 2009 New Zealand Motocross Champs, Round 1 from TIMARU.
Demon Energy National Motocross Championship in association with Samsung and The Rock sees another change in format for 2009. Gone are the two longer races that sorted the super fit from the relatively fit to make room for a new one-day racing format. This season, practice, qualifying and races proper are all on the one day, Sunday. In the MX1 class, the races are 25 minutes plus 2 laps, which, for those who have been spending the off-season racing in Europe, should be not too much of a test of their fitness. At round 1 in Timaru, Daryl Hurley came out trumps with 2 firsts and a second. Justin McDonald was second and Cody Cooper was third. In Rotorua for round 2, anything could happen. In the week between the two rounds, 2008 MX1 and 125cc champion Damon King decided he would not defend both classes in 2009, but focus on the 125 class. The 3-race, one-day format would be too much for any rider. Qualifying in the MX1 class was a mixed bag with the changeable conditions. MotoGP's Cody Cooper was the fastest of the 35 riders who took to the track. In second place was Honda's Justin McDonald, nearly 2 seconds a lap slower on the 2.1 kilometre track. A further 1.5 seconds slower was Suzuki's Daryl Hurley in third place. Fourth was Hayden Clark. Mason Phillips rounded out the top 5. At this point, it was difficult to determine whether these gate picks would affect the results of the following 3 races. When the gate dropped for race number 1, it was newly signed Subway Yamaha rider Hayden Clark who raced out ahead. Within the first couple of laps, Honda's Justin McDonald worked his way from a 5th place start to 2nd, but Clark was too quick in the mud and continued to extend his lead. MotoGP's Cody Cooper and Suzuki's Daryl Hurley crashed into each other on the first lap. When they got back on their bikes, they were virtually last. Both fought their way through the field of 32 riders, but ran out of time to get on the podium. Cooper eventually finished 5th with blood pouring out his nose, and Hurley 7th. Sean Fogarty, who has always had success at Rotorua, slotted into 3rd place on the first lap and stayed there for the entire moto. When the race was done and dusted, Clark had pulled a 26-second advantage over McDonald, who finished 2nd. Fogarty held on to 3rd place, while Mason Phillips, fresh from racing in Canada, was 4th. We caught up with Hayden after the race.
Yeah, I was just surprised, I got a good start and just went out there and rode smooth and consistent, and that sort of happened. I'm surprised as much as everyone else is, so yeah, just hope I can go out in the next moto and do it again, yeah.
Before the start of the race, I mean, you've got Daryl King, Damien King in your team helping you out. What they say to you, did they give you any sort of words of advice?
Oh yeah, definitely. DK's a huge help and just telling me to go have fun, and he's an awesome dude to have around, and yeah, just looking forward to the future with him, and yeah.
How good has that bike been?
Oh, that bike's awesome. Loving it, Just can't wait to get back on it again and go riding.
Moments away from the gate dropping for race number 2 for the MX1 class. Away they go, and can Hayden Clark do it again? Watch for number 10. Yes, he can, down the inside, but going with him is Brad Groombridge by the look of it. A good start too for Mason Phillips, or Clark, all sorts of out of shape as they head down the hill for the first time. And it is the number 10 in the front, and that's Mason Phillips. It's gone down. Well, he was in about 4th place, and I think he's going to start absolutely dead last. He picks up the 450 Kawasaki. The fly green Team Kawasaki rider from Mount Maunganui, Mason Phillips, gets going, and there's only one rider behind him, so it's going to be a big comeback of any sorts for the man from Mount Maunganui. It is, though, Hayden Clark, a sensation in race number 1. Going with him, Brad Groombridge. Groombridge on a Suzuki this year for years and years, supported by Kawasaki, but now on the Action Suzuki RMZ 450. He sits in second place. Looks like another Suzuki runner. It's the MX2 national champion, and that is Daryl Hurley back in the MX1 class. And the points leader in the championship after one round. The Demon Energy New Zealand Motocross Championship brought to you in association with The Rock and Samsung. This is MX1 race number 2. Hayden Clark won race number 1 to the astonishment of just about every spectator watching him, because it's an amazing story. At the first round he rode in the MX2 class. He was collared by Daryl King of Subway Yamaha fame, and when it was decided that Damien King wouldn't ride 2 classes, they had a spare YZ 450, and they said, Hayden, what about you riding? And he has, and he's done a fantastic job. Here is Daryl Hurley just moving up the inside of Brad Groombridge as they come down to complete one lap. Justin McDonald there in 4th place on the Honda. But it is the Yamaha, the Subway Yamaha of Hayden Clark, 5th last year in the MX2 class. The man from the Waikato, now riding for the Waikato team. Well, plenty of action further down through the field, and there you just got a glimpse of the green flash. That is Mason Phillips. Now he's come back from virtually last, and I can tell you he's up inside the top 20 now, so he's doing a pretty good job. Out in the front though, this is 2nd, 3rd and 4th on your screen at the moment. Daryl Hurley, Brad Groombridge and 201, and that is Justin McDonald from Canterbury on the Team Honda Racing CRF 450. Suzuki's leading the Honda. This is a battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Out in front it is Hayden Clark. Here is Mason Phillips coming back through the field here. Just going around Brendan Gow, number 1, 2, 3. Well, he won't be happy, because he had a great position when he came down, coming down the hill for the first time. Lots of changes on the racetrack here at Rotorua. This is one of them, as Hayden Clark goes through in 1st place. Then it is Hurley. Then it is Brad Groombridge. And just in behind Groombridge, it'll be number 201, and that is Justin McDonald. There is McDonald on your screen there. Team Honda Racing. Another rider that's had experience overseas in the New Zealand off-season, went up to the United States of America and competed in a couple of rounds of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Series in the States. There you see Hayden Clark still out in the front. I can tell you that Daryl Hurley is starting to get closer as they go through the Demon Energy corner now and come down and complete yet another lap here on Phillips Farm, the venue for round 2 of the Demon Energy New Zealand Motocross Championships for 2009. Different format this year, 3 25-minute plus 2-lap races, so you have to be super fit. And different conditions here in Rotorua. We've had rain, we've had sunshine. At the moment the track is dry, but I would say very, very tacky. Up the Patterson and O'Connor Hill they go. There is Daryl Hurley. He's chasing this man, Hayden Clark, 5th last year in the MX2. And as I said, in the first round at TIMARU, he rode the MX2 class. But now he is a star in MX1. Hurley, number 912, Suzuki New Zealand sponsored, Fox sponsored. Oh, and we got riders down here. I thought for a moment that'd be Mason Phillips that's hit the deck again, but it isn't. So already this track's starting to take its toll. Number 9 there, you see, that's Luke Temple. There is Mason Phillips, so he's already made a pass. Sean Fogarty in behind him. Great to see Sean Fogarty back on the New Zealand motocross tracks on the Motor X KTM. Well, Clark just gets a little bit squirrely, but it doesn't make any difference because Daryl Hurley has got no answer to him at the moment. Over the tabletop they go and down to complete another lap. More changes here at Rotorua. The big pine stand has gone in its place, a huge big berm. Hayden Clark bounces the YZ450 Subway Yamaha off it and heads up the Patterson O'Connor Hill once again. We go back and track the progress of Mason Phillips. Just having a bit of trouble getting around Luke Temple there. Still can't quite make the pass stick. And then behind him, I think Blake Gillard. Gillard riding with a bit of a handicap because he lost the lens in his goggles in race number 1. And he's got lots of sand and lots of dirt in his eyes. And he was in real pain before he started Moto 2 here at Rotorua. So keep an eye on number 6. That is Blake Gillard. Oh, and Daryl Hurley gets all sorts of out of shape, and I think he's gone down from the reaction from the crowd. Yes, he has. He just saw it in the bottom of the shot. So Daryl Hurley goes down, and that means that Justin McDonald inherits the spot, and this looks very serious for Hawera's Daryl Hurley on the Suzuki New Zealand RMZ 450. He was the points leader going in, but that might have been all gone now. Number 41, you just got a glimpse of him there just before he hit the deck. This is Daniel Scrimmager on the Hooker Honda. So the conditions starting to take their toll. Back to the leaders as they head downhill once again. There is number 10. That is Hayden Clark, 201. Justin McDonald in second place now. Then it is Action Suzuki's Brad Groombridge. And then I think you'll get a glimpse of Cody Cooper. Now, Cooper was looking for a good points haul this round. This is the second round of the Demon Energy New Zealand Motocross Championship in association with Samsung and The Rock. From here, we go to Pariatonga, and then the grand final will be at Barrett's Road in Taranaki. I can tell you that Mason Phillips has got himself up into the top 10 now. Just gone past Scott Barr-Smith, another man that's made the big step up to the 450s, rode the 125s last year. This is what's happening at the front of the field, though. Justin McDonald through in second place. Then it's Groombridge, then it's Cooper. Both of them on Suzukis. Groombridge on the Action Suzuki, Cooper on the MotoGP sponsored machine out of Mount Maunganui. So Cody Cooper back from the United States of America when he finished in the top 10 of the AMA Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Series, racing for Joe Gibbs Racing on a Yamaha, back on a Suzuki machine. This man rode a Honda last year, Hayden Clark, and being chased by a Honda in the form of Justin McDonald. Third place man Cooper goes up and over the top past the lap scorer's position. There is Groombridge. It's a lap rider, so he won't count. We go back to the front of the field, plunging downhill once again to start another lap here at Rotorua MX1, race number 2. Race number 1, it was Hayden Clark. Race number 2, well, the song remains the same because Hayden Clark's still out in the front. You're watching Cody Cooper. There is Clark on the Subway Yamaha. Had a sensational last round at the Demon Energy New Zealand Motocross Champs last year in Taranaki. And as I said, was going to compete in the MX2 class. In fact, did at TIMARU and didn't have a happy time of it. But here he is now in the MX1. Just picking up a few of these riders as they make their way through. A battle for all these guys just to compete. Not only makes the best in New Zealand, but against the elements as well. And as I said, we've had just about 4 seasons in one day here at Rotorua today. This is bike number 20, and that's Mark Burling. Now he's about 17th at the moment. The man behind him is Shannon Hewitson. Now he was a top contender in TIMARU, but he struggled a bit here in Rotorua. There he is, bike number 11. The Hampton Honda. He was 7th in the points after TIMARU. So he's a little bit further back than that this time round. We go back to the front of the field. Justin McDonald gets a little bit closer. Hayden Clark is now in a bit of a defensive mode here as they work their way through the Big Berm and up the Patterson O'Connor Hill, and it is McDonald that goes ahead. So we've got a new race leader here at Rotorua. Race number 2 for the MX1 class, and it is Canterbury's Chippy, and that is Justin McDonald. And we've got a change in second as well because Cody Cooper's muscled his way past Hayden Clark. So it's Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha now. Justin McDonald on the Honda, Cody Cooper on the Suzuki, and Hayden Clark, the newcomer on the Subway Yamaha team, on the Yamaha in third. You just see getting a little bit loose there is number 201, and that is Justin McDonald. It's number 181. This is Kelvin Ferguson from Auckland. He's on the Dave Leary Racing CRF 450. And he's just inside the top 10, so he's having a pretty good race going. All the major brands represented, of course, KTM, Suzuki, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and, of course, Honda. It's a Honda that's leading, and there's a Honda having a bit of trouble here. This is Brendan Gow, number 123, just getting faced in the right direction again as Mason Phillips jumps over the top of him. What a comeback ride this has been for the kid from Mount Maunganui. Well, for the last 2 seasons, he's been racing in the Canadian National Motocross Championships. He was stone motherless last when he regained his machine, and now I can tell you he's well inside the top 10, so it's a good effort from Mason Phillips. Good effort from this man too, because he has now taken the lead. This is Cody Cooper. So it must have happened over the back while we were watching Mason Phillips. Justin McDonald's made a mistake, and that's allowed Mount Maunganui's Cody Cooper to go into the front now. There he is on the MotoGP sponsored Suzuki RMZ 450. So it looks like McDonald will be back in second. Over the bike force drop off, the field comes. Hayden Clark now will go back to third place, I would think. Yes, you just got a glimpse there of McDonald. So that's the way the order stands at the moment. Been a great day for Hayden Clark. Won Moto number 1, led Moto 2 for a long, long time. But now it is this man, Cody Cooper. Plenty of international experience under his kidney belt as well, from the likes of the Motocross of Nations in years past, the Oceania Championships, an Australian Lights title, and New Zealand Lights title. Could have won his first open class title in New Zealand in 2006 when he threw away a huge points lead at the final round in Taranaki while playing on his 125 machine. Those days are behind him though. Plenty of experience up in the United States for the last 2 years. Firstly on a satellite Suzuki team, the Motor City team, and last year on the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota sponsored Yamaha team. Once again, Cody Cooper finishing inside the top 10 against the best riders in the world. This is Dave Rhines. Mum and Dad sponsors him on his RMZ 450. He's in 18th place at the moment. And right in behind him, number 811, Grant Vanderdrift on the Yamaha YZ450, another one that's made it up from the MX2 ranks, the 250 class last year. This is the race leader though. The big crowd starting to gather, so there can't be too many laps to run here at Rotorua. MX1 race number 2, second round of the Demon Energy New Zealand Motocross Championships in association with Samsung and also The Rock. Well, this man has been steadfast as a rock. Cody Cooper on his way to a win here in Rotorua. Up the Patterson O'Connor hill he comes now. Second place man Justin McDonald. In third place it is Hayden Clark. In fourth it is the other Suzuki rider in the field, the Action Suzuki sponsored Brad Broombridge. And in fifth place it is KTM Sean Fogarty. Sixth is Mason Phillips, and that has been a fantastic ride from Phillips. This is Scott Barr Smith, another one to make the move, as we said, to the RM450. M-Spec Racing is Scott's sponsor. Raced the 125s last year. Justin McDonald just helping himself to another spot, just getting around some of the lap traffic here as they work their way to the finish line again. And they head up over a tabletop jump. That's another new feature here at Rotorua, Phillips Farm. McDonald, number 201, the carpenter from Canterbury. Last year rode the MX2 class, but he has always been very fast on the open machines. Well, Cody Cooper can afford to have a look round because he's extended that lead to something like 10 seconds now on McDonald, but he can't afford to cruise because we've seen it so often in motocross, just a small little slip, a small mistake, and you lose a spot. There is Justin McDonald. He's second. Hayden Clark hanging tough for third. Shane King, the Team Honda racing manager, will be happy with this performance. And so too will Cody Cooper's manager, racing on a privateer Suzuki. And out in the front, where he wants to be, and maybe he's using his experience from the United States just to keep on keeping on. There's another moto to go after this, so I guess you've got to keep some energy in the tank. Cody Cooper making it look easy at the present time. There is Hayden Clark. So down the bike force drop comes number 10, Hayden Clark. He looks behind him. He knows it's all about points. He got maximum points, 25 points in race number 1. He's going to pick up a good hatful of points here in race 2 with one race still to come. Cody Cooper in the front. Hayden Clark back in third. The meat in the sandwich is the Honda of Justin McDonald, and behind Clark, I should say, it should still be the other Suzuki rider, and that is Brad Groombridge on the Action Suzuki RMZ 450. Well, this man, you can see he's got himself into a rhythm now. The rumours are that he won't go back to the United States in the New Zealand off-season this year. There is some talk that he might race in Australia. But great to see Mount Mauganui's Cody Cooper back here. Here is Justin McDonald in second place. The lead getting out to something like 12 seconds now. And Hayden Clark about another 10 seconds behind McDonald. Well, talking to Daryl King before the break in the first and second races, and he said he had to slow Hayden down after he cleared away and won so easily in race number 1. Hasn't found it quite that easy this time round because he is third. This man, Justin McDonald, is just in front of him, and Cody Cooper is about 11 seconds up the road on McDonald. And more significantly, he is on his last lap. Here he is, the race leader, Mount Mauganui's Cody Cooper on the MotoGP-sponsored RMZ 450 Suzuki. Well, he's ridden them all. He'll head down to the finish and pretty much unchallenged here in race number 2 for the MX1s. In second place, it will be Justin McDonald, and in third place, it will be Hayden Clark. Fourth place will go to Suzuki's Brad Groombridge, and in fifth, Sean Fogarty.
Sort of got an average start, and then, picked them off. Just I knew the races are longer than normally. They used to be like 22 minutes, so, they've made them 25 plus 2 now, so got a lot of time to evaluate the race and sort of, just picked them off, and then, it just seemed to be a good race. I had fun, and I think that was the main thing, got to sort of go hard every race from now on out, and just to get some points back on Justin.
Second place in MX1, race number 2, Honda's Justin McDonald.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. I got a good start. Hayden Clark checked out a little bit. Hurley goes down. I just sort of hung around there and managed to pull into the lead. And then Coops was giving me a little bit of shuffle along, so I sort of had to sort of either step it up or back it off a little bit. So I just chose the easy option and saved a bit of energy for the next one.
As the 450s lined up at the start gates for the final time that day, the clouds came in and rain fell, and it was heavy. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, it was Subway Yamaha's Hayden Clark who took the whole shot, but he wasn't alone. Clark led the race for 5 laps, but dropped down to 4th and was eventually passed by MotoGB's Cody Cooper, as well to drop to 5th place. Honda's Justin McDonald worked his way to 2nd place in taking over from Sean Fogarty. After a 5th place start, Mason Phillips worked his way into 1st place with 5 laps to spare and stayed that way until the end, winning the 30-minute moto by 21 seconds over McDonald. Fogarty finished up in 3rd spot, a further 13 seconds behind. Cooper finished in 4th spot, and Clark rounded out the top 5. The heavy rain and mud definitely sorted the men from the boys, with only 7 riders finishing the moto on the lead lap. We tracked Mason Phillips down after the final race at round 2 of the championship, brought to you by Samsung and The Rock.
I didn't actually get a very good start. I must have been 6th or 7th round, after the first lap, and I just chugged away. We chucked a new tyre on for that last race, and that held me out. And hey, actually at the end of that race DK was cheering me on that last lap. I yelled out to him. I was like, finally. So no, it was just a tough race, and I just chipped away.
When the racing was over and the points tallied up, Justin McDonald proved that consistency is the key to winning. 3 seconds gave McDonald the weekend win with 66 points to boost him into the top place in the championship.
Yeah, no, it's awesome actually. I'm so pumped on getting the win. It's what I've come here for, and it's what I've come away with, so it's sweet.
You've got a good points lead after the weekend. What are you going to do the next 2 rounds? Is right conservative, or are you still going all out for the win?
I want to go out for the win. It's just, consistency is what's going to get it. I've watched a lot of videos and stuff, and that's, pretty much what Villapoto says and swears by. So it's about winning overalls, and just even if you may not win a race, you still could win an overall,
Yeah, no doubt Grant Langston won a championship in America that way, and he never won a race, so no doubt the same thing will be able to happen with you. Good luck for the next 2 rounds and the championship.
Cheers, Jerry.
As mentioned, a look at the championship table sees Justin McDonald in the top spot after Daryl Hurley's championship-ending crash. 22 points behind McDonald is Cody Cooper, and Mason Phillips is just 3 points behind in 3rd place. At the halfway point of the championship, it'll take a mistake or bike failure from McDonald for Cooper to grab the top spot. But as the cliche goes, it's not over till it's over.
From the mud of TIMARU to the surf and sand at Whangamata for the first round of the 2002 Surfcats Summer Series.
Fairly full-on day.
Oh, it's a great day, you know, it's choppy surf out there and that's what the sport's all about. You're going to see boats tip over, it's a lot of fun.
Round one of this year's Surfcats Summer Series at Whangamata. The New Zealand summer not living up to expectations. The day was overcast, cold, windy, and surf conditions unexpectedly and disappointingly flat. Based on form leading into the series, which takes in 48 heats over 4 rounds, crews to watch out for include Team Gemini, the current national champs Calvin Kay and Kendall Atwood and Ida Ripples, More FM with Graham Edwards and Tony McCartran. Another to watch out for, Team Winger Subaru, featuring the so-called fast and loose Kelly Gooch and Mark Chamberlain. And 2 of the youngest competitors in the sport, the teenage Thompson brothers in digital media. So after round one, the points clearly favour Ida Ripples. Bit of a gap back to Gemini and Team Winger Subaru. More FM and Kamikaze a group there. Heritage Tiles and digital media with some ground to make up. Gemini Surfcat, the inflatable. First thing you notice, the pointy bit's right at the front. That's to slice, punch right through the waves. This is one of the few solid bits on the inflatable. The fiberglass fairing helps direct the air underneath because it rides up on a cushion of air. It's a tunnel hull, and that's how it gets most of its speed. Moving on back, it's got a solid floor underneath the padding for a bit of creature comfort. There's a solid floor. And right at the back, the only other solid part about the whole craft is the transom, which is made out of alloy. Otherwise, it's completely inflatable, although it has to be inflated to about twice the ordinary pressure simply because of the speeds involved so that there's no rippling of the hull as it goes along. As I say, it rides up on this sort of cushion of air. Once it gets up onto its plane, it's capable of some quite remarkable speed. And you'll see by the racing, it's up on that plane just about the whole time. Even on a day like today, whizzing along parallel to the beach, it'll probably be capable of around 74, 75 kilometres per hour. That's really flying. And on a glassy surface, maybe even up to 90. It's got great power to weight ratio. The dry weight of this without the motor around 75 kgs. For round 2 of the summer series at Pauanui, conditions were extreme with high winds and breaking waves. The offshore winds holding up the waves and proving difficult for the 24 crews. The early heat saw plenty of action. Experience should have countered in these conditions. Surprising some of the more experienced competitors, the Thompson brothers in digital media handling the conditions with ease.
You made that one look easy.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. We got off to a good start, went around, just picked our lines right. No, I think it was a really good race.
The rough conditions at Pauanui should have suited the more seasoned crews like Kelly Gooch and Mark Chamberlain in Winger Subaru and Calvin Kay and Ida Ripples. But again surprising many, it was the 2 Steves, Steve Frogley and Steve Morrison in Plum Quick, who took out maximum points in their heat. But to do it, they had a constant battle with Winger Subaru. In all seriousness, the small extra weight of the crew probably helped a great deal with stability, keeping the nose of the boat down, not allowing that extra air to get underneath, keeping contact with the surface for that little bit of extra speed.
Two boats had a bit of white water, so we got a bit of a jump on them, so thought we had it under control, but you never know on a day like today.
A good start in surfcat racing, especially in these sort of conditions, can be all important. Crossing and recrossing the surf line each lap in this sort of surf can be a real challenge. This is where the skills come into play. The crew shifting weight backwards and forwards and picking the best line through the waves is absolutely critical. And this is where the real carnage can happen in the race. The boat finishes up on the beach, the co-pilot trying to keep his feet for that last dash across the sand. So after 7 heats, some major changes in the leaderboard. More FM coming to the fore. Digital media certainly moving up well. But remember, there are still 5 heats to go and plenty of points yet up for grabs.
And so to Heat 8 here at Pauanui, and already the wind is roughing the surf up, the salt spray is flying off the tops as we get ready for action. Away we go this time. Lawrence Matrix gets the whole shot. In other words, they're first out of the gap. Traffic Control are right up alongside them, but Eda Ripples, you can't see them on your screen from right out wide. Position number 8 go blasting past. Into the back straight away they go. The side on C causing all sorts of drama in behind the leaders. Eda Ripples it is, down to the second buoy as they just set themselves up to turn the left-hand corner. Now with the following C and straight into this breeze. Off they come. It's very, very tricky for the Eda Ripples team. Into the trough they go. Right out across the tops of the waves. Wham, bang, crash hard down. Calvin Kay right at the back of the boat, just about being tossed out. In they come into the shallow water this time and set themselves up for the inside run towards the apex buoy. This is where the drama can happen as they cross the waves again, go up to the A buoy. They've got the right-hand turn before they come back into the shallow water once again. The lead boat now turns into the rough surf as they plough out with the wind behind them, out into the surf, across the waves they go. Through comes Lowrance Matrix, just up ahead of them, lovingtouch.co. Already, Eda Ripples has made the break on the rest of the field as they head out into the surf, gaining maximum air. Out across the surf they go, down the back straight away, now with the surf, the following sea behind them and into the breeze. Once again, into the shallow water. As the tide's running out, so is the water, and it's going to cause drama for these guys later in the day. Up towards the apex buoy they go, and down comes Traffic Control. Right hard on their exhaust pipe comes Lowrance Matrix. Into the shallow surf they come once again, that breeze hard onto the bows of these little boats. Into the shallow water, out towards the apex buoy, and across the surf they go. Battery Town sitting at the tail end of the field at the moment. The father and son team of Doug and Bevan Gooch have got an awful lot of ground to make up as we look down upon Eda Ripples, down into the trough. In behind this awesome surf here at Pauanui they come. Flying off the top of the next one, wham, bang, down into the shallow water, and this is only knee-deep as they come round this bottom buoy. Dad's Pies, the young fellas from Whangaparāoa, are relishing these conditions. They've done a lot of training out from Whangaparāoa Peninsula. Into the shallow water we go, and Eda Ripples the hard right hand now as they set themselves up for the run up the beach. Calvin Kay and Kendall Atwood. Kendall Atwood with those legs braced up into the shallow water they come. Now the run up to the beach and the dive across the finish line.
So a start to finish win for the national champions in Eda Ripples. That will add to the already healthy points lead they're enjoying in the competition.
So the run down the beach, this time for the pilots in Heat 9. They've got to slip the kill switch in, rip start these little 50 horsepower Yamahas, and away they go. Digital Media, the young fellas, the teenage idols, get the whole shot. Gemini are soon to join up alongside them. Off they go to the first turn mark. That's B-Buoy. Out they go this time across the mountain surf, and Gemini lead them out there, but Digital Media fighting back all the way through. CW pre-built homes from Cumu, one of the out-of-towners. They start to mount the pressure on also. Into the back straight away, and Digital Media, websites that fly right around the outside of Team Gemini and into the lead.
Yes, it's good close racing and plenty of excitement in these conditions, but these Thompson brothers seem to be able to pick their line. They're racing well in the conditions. They've got that boat flying.
Gemini now on the inside of Digital Media, fight back. Into the trough they come and out across the surf, but Digital Media now battling all the way. The young fellas up against the Grand Masters. Down come Team Gemini into the shallow surf, out round the pin mark again, pushed all the way by Digital Media. Up towards the W mark they go. They've got to pick the right wave. It's the wave that they're both on together. Round they come, round the W buoy. Gemini inches ahead. Into the bottom mark they go already. Gemini pushing out across the torrid surf here at Pauanui. Digital Media on the inside fighting back. They're joined by Sunday News now. Out into the surf they come, that spray whipping into the faces of these pilots, causing them all sorts of visual problems. Up towards the top mark, right back there at the tail end of the field. Sunday News has joined up in the foray, and so has Corporate Investigations. Gemini up the back straightaway now, powering away from Digital Media, but Digital Media right in behind them. Up towards the turn mark they go, they're into Seaboy. Now into the following seat, Digital Media in hot pursuit. Both together now, right out wide. Here comes Sunday News, all the way from Taranaki, the boys from Sunday News. Team Gemini though, a clear winner at the moment. Here comes Digital Media down into the bottom mark. They're both virtually together. Into the W boy, Digital Media goes for the outside. Gemini on the inside. They're both together on the same wave. Down into the bottom boy, Digital Media go into the lead. Right up close on the inside of Team Gemini now. Down to the bottom buoy they go. The boats rub together. They both turn the mark at the same time on the same wave. Out into the big surf once again. Gemini right out wide, flying over the surf, trapping Maximum here underneath this little catamaran hull. Out into the surf they go once again. Sunday News, they get awesome here also. Up towards A-Boy, it's still Gemini at the head of the field, followed by Digital Media. As they turn round the top mark, Gemini, but they're only in front by a couple of metres. Here comes Digital Media on the inside. Look at this, right through they go, blasting away. Wow, right in the side of the boat. Well, somebody's going to be disqualified for that one. Digital Media look over their shoulder, they're racing away with it. Just the right-hand turn now as they come into the beach. Right-hand turn up onto the beach. Digital Media taking maximum points from this one. Look over your shoulder, young Carl. Here comes Gemini again, but they may have left their run too late.
So despite the contact in the closing stages of the race, there were no disqualifications. Digital Media, the Thompson boys, a great race. They've taken maximum points.
Did they get a wave, or was it a speed down the chute thing?
They seem to have a bit more top speed coming down the back straight there, and just got on the inside of us. Pretty good driving too by the young fella though.
Heat 10, the wind gets up, the surf gets up. We're in for a torrid race here. Out they go, and More FM get the whole shot this time out. They're followed by Kamikaze, Corporate Investigations, and right out wide Dad's Pies. Left back at the starting gate, Traffic Control. All the boats have got to hold their line until they get out to the first turn mark. B-Buoy, there's a 45-degree turn mark out from that. They must hold their lines. It's tough going at the moment for Custom Fleet. Way back there in the middle of the field as they turn round and head up the back straightaway. Custom Fleet, Total Fleet Vehicle Management Systems could do with a little bit of fleet management out there. It's Traffic Control that are in the lead. Down towards Seabuoy they go. Traffic Control. Kerry Wood and John Keenan flying away with this one, but right underneath the Rooster Tail Custom Fleet. Further out wide, Dad's Pies has come from nowhere. Down into the troughs, out across the surf, Kerry Wood, the man to be reckoned with in this one.
Oh, this is very close racing in these conditions. The wind has come up, the tide has come up, and any tiny miscalculation is going to have very dire consequences as the pressure comes on in this race.
I reckon they're right out in front at the moment. The boys from Traffic Control, Kerry Wood and John Keenan, pointing which way to go, pointing the direction of the buoy, pointing where the wave is best. Out goes Corporate Investigations in hot pursuit. Out across the surf as that wind comes up. So does the surf. Corporate Investigations just about losing it, as does Custom Fleet in the middle of the field. Out towards B-Buoy they go. Kamikaze gets a flyer. In the middle of the back straightaway, Dad's Pies is pushing hard for second place.
Some of these guys are getting fantastic airtime. Simon Mansell in Dad's Pies has had a very good run so far today. He's picking his line very well, and he's right in with a go in this one.
Winger Subaru have moved up from fifth. They're now heading into third as they come down and head for home. Dad's Pies holding on to second. Here comes Winger Subaru. It's still Traffic Control out in front though as they come into the shallow surf with the following sea. This is Tricky Surf Cat Racing. Out round the bottom buoy they go and in towards the W. Remember, it's the swinger, it's the co-pilot that's got to lead the way. Out with the white flag. Down they come on the final lap this time. It's Traffic Control. down into the shallow water. Oh, the water's running out. It's getting really tricky for these guys as the big wind comes up. The left-hander, just the right-hander to go. It's traffic control approached.
Oh, traffic control have run almost the perfect race. The pressure right at the end was too much speed on. Look, they get a bit of air time, catch the edge of the wave, it flips them over. In all honesty, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this sort of action in the conditions today. So the last gasp action hands the race to More FM, who compile yet more points. A good run too for Dad's Pies, finishing second.
We came in, classic example of just getting caught by the wave on the side and just spun us over. So disappointing.
So getting down to the end of the day, the drivers, the co-pilots are all getting tired. The adrenaline starts to ease off. Away we go. It looks like right out wide, Eda Ripples gets the whole shot. Charging on their CW pre-built homes, the Cowboys from Kumu. Right out wide once again, those Stacey Aitken and Russell Litchwick and Lawrence Matrix heading out there in first place at the present. Eda Ripples the first to go round the buoy and out to the back straight away, flying away once again, the flying Kelvin Kay and Kendall Atwood. They've represented New Zealand in every championship that we've had so far. Dirty Dog sitting way back there in the middle of the field, as our digital media, but hold on to your seats, folks. Up comes the wind again, and digital media on the charge. Lawrence Matrix now down into the shallow water, just about landing flat bang on top of the little Yamaha on the back of Eda Ripples. Into the shallow water and round the W buoy they go. Eda Ripples flies over the top of the shallow surf. Right out wide though, Mustangs comes from nowhere. Mustangs, co-pilot waving all the way down, pointing the direction of the wave, pointing where the buoy is, and Eda Ripples fights back again. On the inside of them, Lawrence Matrix comes on hard, then Dirty Dog further out still.
So these crews have had plenty of experience now in these conditions, but remember, this is heat 11. This is the last chance for some of these guys to finally get some points on the board.
The Crow's Nest are in with a chance in this one as they go round the outside of the Dirty Dog eyewear boat. Back into the lead, and it is still Eda Ripples racing away with it, Kelvin Kay and Kendall Atwood. Then we go to Neil Sears and the only lady to be racing in the series, Melinda Ramsey. Down comes Eda Ripples again into the trough. Out over the top of the wave, they get a fly. You can see the propeller underneath. Down into the shallow water they come. Eda Ripples, the big taste gets through once again as they come into the shallow water and out round the W buoy. It's a benefit for Eda Ripples. Away they come with it. Kendall Atwood in the front of the boat looking for that wave. But hello, what have they done? I can't believe it. They've blown it. They've come into the shore. The rest of the field are carrying on without them. Eda Ripples, they're forlorn. Atwood looks over his shoulder. What can he do?
Absolutely unbelievable. I didn't see the co-pilot point into the shore. There was certainly no white flag out. Just a breakdown in communications. Just a big mistake.
Disgusted Kelvin Kay on the beach just can look around and smile as away goes Dirty Dog with it. Right out wide from there, Lawrence Matrix. As they head up to that first turn buoy again, it's Lawrence Matrix that are in the lead. Into the back straight away for the final time. Lawrence Matrix. I didn't see a white flag. Nobody knows what's going on the beach. It's Lawrence Matrix that's heading away with it. Kendall Atwood on the beach takes his helmet off, throws it into the sand in disgust. Lawrence Matrix racing away with it, this time about 250 metres to go. Down into the trough, out across the surf. Litchwick looks back, holds his hand in the air and says, thank you very much. Atwood's given it to him on a plate. Into the buoy they go for the final time. Russell Litchwick points where the beach is. This time they've got it right, just the right-hand corner now. Out across the surf, and a happy Russell Litchwick and Lawrence Matrix as they turn round and head out once again. Up comes Team Gemini from nowhere, racing out there for the points. Out into the surf they go once again, but hold the phone, folks. It looks like Fleetline have gone over. The red flags have gone up. They've called the race.
So, very big problems there for Fleetline. The complete capitulation of Eda Ripples hands the race to Lawrence and adds to the points tally for Mark Ross and Gemini.
Confusing race for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we went from 4th to 1st on one corner there, and then Calvin got us back, but he came in too early, and then I think we ended up second. So.
What do you think it was? Did you think it was 4 laps or 5 laps?
Nah, it wasn't enough laps. I wasn't anywhere near ready to come in, but I think Calvin's just getting too old.
So they're saying it's still 5 laps and you came in a lap early?
No, they're not. They're just saying that, I don't know what they're saying at the moment, but no, it wasn't that. They agree that it was 4, but they apparently forgot to put the white flag up or something. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see where it comes to.
So stress levels are high and energy levels are low as we head into the last heat of the day. Away they go. The pilot of Heritage Tiles scrambles over the side. Rip starts the little standard 50 horsepower Yamaha underneath the Gemini, and away they go. Sunday News right out wide, the lads from Taranaki. Out they go. Heritage Tiles heading them out there at the moment. In the middle low, we've got New Zealand Propeller Magazine, the digital media boys, co-sponsored by New Zealand Propeller Magazine. They're sitting in a handy position at the moment. Out towards the first turn mark they go, and it's Sunday News that shoots the gap and into the lead. Heritage Tiles are sitting there in second place, then digital media, websites that fly coming from nowhere. Sunday News heading out there at the moment, though they're opening up a big gap on Heritage Tiles. Digital media sitting back there in third, trying to wind their way through the big field as the surf comes up. Down into the shallow water they come. It's starting to kick up a little more as the tide keeps going out. Into the bottom mark, Heritage Tiles looking all over the place as if there's something wrong, and through comes Digital Media. Right around the corner, Digital Media shoot up into second place. Just Sunday News, the Naki Cowboys out in front of them. Now round the FWB, Sunday News head them out there. Round the left-hander and out into the surf. Wow, as they push out there, awesome here, and wham! Down they come, hard on the transom, and through goes Digital Media into the lead. The Sunday News guys head out further wide there to get the better water, and Plum Quick follow them through. In the middle of the field, Waiwera Water struggles on, and Yamaha at the rear of the bunch. Into the back straight away now, and it's Digital Media, New Zealand Propeller Magazine, flying away with this one, the young guys from Whangamata.
The Thompson brothers have won 3 out of 3 today. They're going amazingly well. The adrenaline must be really pumping. They're going for 4 out of 4 maximum points today.
Plum Quick are battling on. Remember, they're the heavyweight crew. The heavier the crew, the better in these big conditions as Digital Media come down the side, shoot again into the shallow water as the water cuts up. Carl and Travis Thompson, Digital Media, New Zealand Propeller Magazine, co-sponsored by Yamaha, these little standard Yamaha motors, all running on Yamalube. Up into the beach they come, Carl and Travis Thompson looking for the checkered flag once again. Round the W buoy for the final time. Out across the white furry stuff and up onto the beach. Carl Thompson with the run up there now to take out another checkered flag.
So the Thompson brothers, perhaps a little unexpectedly, have proved the masters of these extreme conditions today. They've lacked a little weight and a little experience, but they have taken 4 out of 4 for maximum points today. And on the strength of today's showing, it's the Digital Media crew that have been the big movers on the overall points board. They've moved up, but they have still some way to go to catch up to Ida Ripples at the top of the points board.
Next up in the show, it's motor racing time. Let's head off to Ruapuna for the 2006 Tasman Revival Series.
You're watching Sanyong Speed Week. Last week we showed you race 1 of the muscle cars. Well, the weather has improved just a little. Good news for the 17 GDM muscle cars that have travelled from the central North Island to race with the South Island's finest. Add in a few cars from the Auto Pro class in Auckland and you have a recipe for some of the biggest fields and the best action. So appearing behind the scope flags are the field for the Arthur Kennard Super Saloons Group A's and Big Bang is a rolling start for them, and it looks like a good representation of Fords at the front of the field. Roger Townsend there in the Capri, but it's Mustang on Mustang, and going into Flexi-Flash for the first time it is Rob Lewis in the fastback. Gatwood through in second place. Then we go back to Auckland's Dave Sturrock. Then it's Taranaki Steve Hildred. Saw Roger Townsend up there as well in the Capri. So it is Rob Lewis in the front, into the hairpin for the first time. Good start too from Michael Eden, part of the GDM muscle car group here. Travelled all the way to the Scope Classic here at Ruapuna from their base in Manfield. But Rob Lewis it is leading them. The beautiful Mustang fastback. A couple of newcomers in this field. Ian Williamson couldn't race on Saturday because of a family bereavement, but he's made the field here for this, the Arthur Kennard Super Saloons Group A's and Big Bangers. Once again, you'll see some BMW Super Tourers out there. We've got some 6-cylinder cars. One on your screen there, Roger Townsend in the Ford RS 2.6 Capri, the Cologne Capri. Right in behind him, it's Jack Ondrak from Canada. Oh, and there's some problems there. And I've got a feeling that's one of the BMWs, and I think that might be the Super Tourer of Dennis Chapman. It is the Diet Coke car from Australia. Oh, and it looks like he's got into the back of one of the muscle cars, one of the Mustangs by the look of it. Well, that, I'm sure, will bring the red flags out here at Ruapuna. There is Dennis Chapman. He's climbed from the car unhurt, but the car has ridden right up the safety wall and has taken a heavy hit. And as suspected, the red flags fly here in the Arthur Kennard Super Saloons Group A's and Big Bangers, and it's going to take a little while to clean that one up. That's the ex-BMW Super Tourer, the Diet Coke car, the team that Lyle Williamson ran in Australia with Paul Morris and, of course, New Zealand's Craig Baird. So the field just trundles around under the safety car once again. There is Roger Townsend. Alongside of him, it is car number 65, and that is Richard Gatwood. When we last left it, it was number 5, Rob Lewis in the front, so the judges have said that that's changed now. So 65, Gatwood in behind the power-built safety car. The safety car pulls off. The boys get the revs up again, and we're racing in race number 29 of a very busy weekend here at the annual Scope Classic, and this is pitting the best against the rest. A huge field. Muscle cars, Group A spec cars, we've got Super Tourers, we've got Mustangs, we've got Chev Corvettes, and Rob Lewis goes off through turn number 1. So just a bit of a miscalculation from number 5, Rob Lewis. And it's gone horribly wrong for him, but now Steve Hildred has joined the party, and Roger Gatwood's got some company as they work their way through the Calford Camtech hairpin and down the inside here, the inside loop at Ruapuna. It's the Chev on the Ford. It is Hildred all over the back of Richard Gatwood for the moment. In third place, it looks like Michael Eden in the GDHO Falcon, and right in behind him, it's Auckland's Dave Sturrock in the Tirana. But it is the 65 Mustang of Richard Gatwood in the lead for the moment. Or Roger Townsend, well, he knows no other way, completely sideways heading into the Jeff's delivery turn. There he is there in that beautiful Cologne Capri. Just up ahead of him, it is Michael Eden. There's Phil Hoffman in yet another Mustang fastback. Just up in front of him, Nick Thomas. Now, we saw Nick competing with distinction in one of the earlier races here. Round the top of the sweeper, though, this is a battle at the front of the field. It is the Ford just stretching its legs a little bit from Steve Hildred, so Richard Gatwood holds on to it in the Shelby Mustang. Here comes the pressure now from Hildred. Down the inside he goes. He's a devil of the last of the late breakers, is Steve Hildred from Taranaki. Has he gathered it all up to go through the Flexiplas left-hand turn? Yes, he has. The small block Chevy-powered Monaro out in the front now. Second place man will be Gatwood. And you get a graphic example there of the speed these cars can produce. Lapping around here and around about the 132, 133 mark, as compared to the 120s of the Formula 5000s. But still very fast indeed in this nearly 3-kilometre configuration that is the track they're racing on here for the Scope Classic. Big lock up there from Gatwood, so he's trying hard. They work through the Crown Carousel. Hildred in the front. Sturrock's got a little bit closer now. Then the gaps start to open up. Behind him, it's Michael Eden in the GDHO Falcon. There is Sturrock. Just a small mistake there from Hildred has closed the gaps right up. Gatwood right on the tail now of the Monaro. These guys from the GDM Muscle Car Group, based out of the Central North Island, racing regularly at Taupo and also Manfield. And the Eagle Automotive Monaro of Steve Hildred calling the shots for the moment. Gatwood through in second place. Sturrock gets a little bit closer now, so it looks like it's down to a 3-man race. And the Ford is the meat in the GM sandwich, and that is Richard Gatwood. So maybe the Monaro just got a little bit of an edge in the top-end speed. Gatwood comes back to them, though, as they work their way out of Flexiplas into the pothole turn now, and then down into the hairpin. Dave Sturrock will close it up under braking as well. Sturrock from the Auckland Muscle Car Group has recently joined the GDM group for a little bit more competitive racing. This car approaching something like 650 horsepower from the Tirana. So a lot of work's gone on with the engine. Tells me that the next development program will be the brakes. Hildred in the front, renowned engine builder from Taranaki, been there and done that, drag racing, saloon car racing, you name it. Now finding a home in the GDM muscle car group. Gatwood puts the pressure on again as they head into the Jeff's Deliveries turn once more. This vicious right-hander, and then it's followed by the Cockram Nissan left. So you've really got to have your wits about you. If you get one wrong, chances are you're going to get the second one wrong as well. Both of the three leaders get through okay. Down the short chute they come. Hildred, Gatwood and Sturrock. You can forget the rest. This is where the trophies are going to be handed out. Once again, we see the Monaro just a little bit quicker than the Mustang of Richard Gatwood. So already the lap cars are going to play a part in this one. The infield loop here at Ruapuna. Big crowd in to watch the 2006 version of the Scope Classic. Really has been a field day for classic car watchers. The weather has done the right thing and started to come good as well. It's Greg Horner in another Mustang just behind this leading group of four. Hildred, Gatwood, Sturrock. The next one back should be Michael Eden in the GDHO Falcon. It still is. So he's just lost a little bit of contact with the front group, but he's still in there in fourth place. Points up for decision here in the GDM muscle car group. They run a series-long championship. Steve Hildred in the front. Gatwood gets a little bit closer now. They take two sweeps at the big sweeper at the top end of the track here at Ruapuna. No change from the previous lap. If anything, the Monaro just starting to get away just a little bit. There is Roger Townsend, so he's right on the tail now of Michael Eden, and in behind him it is Scott O'Donnell from Invercargill in the BMW Super Tour. Now remember, we lost Dennis Chapman. The race had to be restarted. We can tell you that Dennis Chapman's feeling no ill effects from the crash. Oh, and we've lost somebody else out there, and it looks to me like it's car number 55, and that is Andrew Sinclair in the Holden Commodore, the VK. Now that's painted up in the livery as it was raced in the Nissan Mobile 500 with Peter Brock and also David Oxton, so two legends driving that car. Meantime, at the front, it is the top three that we've seen for the last few laps. Dave Sturrock just trying to get a little bit closer to Richard Gatwood, and out in front of them, it is Steve Hildred, the wily old fox of the GDM muscle cars. And we just got a glimpse there of the battle going on behind. It looks to me like Michael Eden under some intense pressure now from the BMW and also from one of the other cars. I think it might have been Jack Ondrak in the TVR Tuscan. We'll have a look as they come a bit closer. There is the Tuscan, there is Roger Townsend, and there is O'Donnell, and Eden is still holding on to that spot. Well, I don't know how he's doing it, and I think that might be Nick Thomas behind, or it may even be Jeff Judd, so we'll have a look when they come just a little bit closer. But there is quite a battle going on for 4th, 5th and 6th place, as well as this battle at the front of the field. Hildred out in the front with just the one corner to go. They race to the checkered flag. It's Hildred in the Holden. He's going to carry the day. Nothing Dave Sturrock can do about it, and Gatwood will go through in second. Sturrock through in 3rd place. This is the interesting battle for 4th, and it will be Michael Eden. Right in beside him, it's Jack Ondrak, and then I think it was Stuart O'Donnell from Invercargill. So the official results see Steve Hildred taking the win. Richard Gatwood through in 2nd in the Mustang. In 3rd place, it was Dave Sturrock, and in 4th, it was Michael Eden. A close go with Jack Ondrak in the TVR Tuscan. 6th place went to Roger Townsend. Pretty exciting stuff, Ruapuna. It's fast on that front straight, isn't it?
Oh, it's an awesome track. That front straight is just so daunting at the far end. The intermediate is very technical, and those just short little runs there, they just suit our cars. They're just awesome.
Yeah, always enjoyed racing with Steve. He's very experienced. I trust him. I'm getting up to him now, so I'm enjoying that. He's got someone to look at his mirror in, so a lot of fun.
When we come back, one of the feature events of this celebration of classic cars, the Sir Robertson Stewart Grand Prix for the Formula 5000s and the Formula Libre cars. Welcome back to Ssangyong Speedway. Time for some single-seater action now. The 5000s were in their heydays in the 70s with the Tasman series in this part of the world, and the current Revival series does its best to capture those heady times. The Scope Classic was round 3. Last week we showed you race 1 in very wet and trying conditions. The races featured the visiting English drivers who proved to be very, very fast. This is the Sir Robertson Stewart Grand Prix. Well, the safety car about to leave the circuit as we get set for the big one at the 2006 Scope Classic. This is the Sir Robertson Stewart Grand Prix, Formula Libras and Formula 5000s, and it's Simon Hadfield that's gone straight into the front, but he's got a bit of attention there from Ian Clements, the New Zealander, moving up on his inside as they work into the first turn. Hadfield in the Stan Redmond Lola T332, another T332 in second place, and that is Ian Clements. And then I think we would go back to a brilliant start from Stuart Lush. We'll pick them up as they work their way up into the hairpin for the first time. There is Redmond, there is Ian Clements, there is Stan Redmond in his second car, the McRae, and right in behind him it is Stuart Lush. So Stuart Lush has made a good start here. And then we just got a glimpse there of the McLaren of Frank Lyons. Remember, he won in the wet in race number 2. This man, though, has been dominant since he's been on our shores in New Zealand. This is Simon Hadfield. Well, being a Formula Libra, there's all sorts of different cars out there. We've got Rolks, we've got the old Beggs, we've got a couple of sports cars as well, but they're all chasing this man, Simon Hadfield, in the Lola T332, the Stan Redmond owned car. But Stan in his second car out there, and that is the McRae GM1. Ian Clements putting up a great performance there in second place. Once again, no Michael Scryer in the field. He's had some problems. Car number 3 going through there is David Abbott. And watch too for Ken Smith, the legend of New Zealand Motorsport, out there in his Matic, the Australian Matic, owned by Aaron Lewis. At the moment, though, it is all this man. Simon Hadfield was to have brought his own car here to New Zealand for the Formula 5000 Revival Series. But by now you all know the story. The ship had problems. It broke down. They didn't tell the drivers, the English drivers, until a week after the ship had been ported that they would not be coming to New Zealand. So all of the New Zealand drivers in the 5000 series got together and cobbled together some cars for the visiting Englishmen to drive. That's why Simon Hadfield is out in the front in this car, the Flexiplast sponsored car of Stan Redmond. There is Stan Redmond, and he's currently in third place. Right in behind him it's Stuart Lush. I think we just got a glimpse there of Ken Smith in the Exide sponsored Australian Matic. We'll come back to him if we can. Plenty of speed on board for Simon Hadfield as he works into the first turn here, the Flexiplast turn at Ruapuna. They get down into about the 121s in the lap times. Races within races there. Jeff Harriman in the Rolt. It's the Formula Holden. There is Hadfield. Got a look too at Barry Leach in the Reynard. Hadfield works his way into the Jeff's Delivery turn. He's already got a fair bit of clear track behind him. The man in second place is Ian Clements. And look at this gaggle of cars. Watch too for the M26 McLaren. That is Frank Lyons. We saw him win in the wet. All the cars on slicks here at the moment. Just in behind him it was David Abbott in yet another Lola. These cars, of course, coming to prominence in the 70s, certainly here with the Tasman series in New Zealand. And now the Revival series brings back the sounds and the sights of these fantastic motor vehicles to 2006. This is the Scope Classic, and this is no doubt a highlight. Sir Robertson Stewart, of course, the founder of PDL. And for years and years, this classic was known as the PDL Classic. Hadfield doing the job at the front of this field. Races classic motor cars in England. Owns a couple of Lolas, so right at home in the T332 of Stan Redmond. And look at the lead he's pulled out now on Ian Clements. Through the Jeff's Deliveries turn they'll come. Third place the last time we looked at was Stan Redmond. It's not, it's Stuart Lush, so he's got up ahead of the similar car of Stan Redmond. And a great scrap going on here between Ken Smith, I think it is, just up in front there in the Matic, and right in behind him it's Frank Lyons. And wasn't it great to see Ken Smith stretch the legs on the M23 McLaren of Phil Major in the lunch break, so he's dialed in. They had some problems with getting that car ready in races 1 and 2, but now he is here in the Sir Robertson Stewart Grand Prix. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th, Stuart Lush and Stan Redmond in McRae GM1s. And you get a glimpse of the very distinctive M26, the ex-James Hunt championship winning car of Frank Lyons. That's the McLaren. not strictly a 5,000, but great to have it here, and of course competing under the Formula Libre label. Number 40, Hadfield, continues to win. He's led it from the flag fall. Stuart Lush, Stan Redman right in behind him. Frank Lyons on the move, his wife Judy in the field as well. There is Smith right in behind him now. Round the sweeper at the top end of the circuit here at Ruapuna, and now we get to stretch the small block Chevy's legs as they go down the long front straight. Hadfield lapping in around about the 1:20 mark, so that is quick. Most of these cars powered by small block Chevys, running mechanical fuel injection, round about 650 horsepower. Most of them, I say, with the exception of the one on your screen at the moment. That's Frank Lyons in the, well, one of the first Formula One cars. That's the M26 McLaren. It's a 3-litre Cosworth powered car, and so too is the McLaren of Phil Major. But the rest of them, that familiar V8 rumble. Hadfield, he was the sensation when he first appeared at Pukekohe Park Raceway in round number 2 of the Flexoplast New Zealand Express Formula 5000 Revival Series, and he's continued that trend. Played second fiddle to Frank Lyons in the wet when he lost his tyres. Ran with a full wet setup on a drying track and paid the price, and Lyons came through for the win. But at the moment it is Hadfield in control. In second place it is Ian Clements. In third place the last time we looked it was Stuart Lush. Stan Redman was right beside him. Just listen to that engine note. There is Clements, there is Lush, and there is Redman. Tony Richardson behind them. We'll check on that for you. Stuart Lush having a fantastic start to the Revival Series. In fact, this may be enough to give him the points lead. Of course, the English driver's not eligible to take the series because they won't be here for all the rounds, but certainly putting on a fantastic show for us. Simon Hadfield doing the job at the front of the field. In this 1973 Lola T332. Battles within battles there. We've got Rolts, we've got Formula Reynards, we've got Lolas, we've got McLarens, we've got Beggs, we've got the Marches, you name it, they're all here. One of those cars is Jeff Harriman in the Rolt RT20 just on your screen there. Hadfield, though, continues to lead. This is where all the racing is at the moment. This is a battle for third and fourth and fifth. And in third place it is car number 22, the yellow McRae GM1. Behind him, Stan Redman. And then it's car number 23, and that's Tony Richards in another Lola T332. This T332 is leading. This is Simon Hadfield from England in the Stan Redman-owned Lola T332, rebuilt by Motorsport Solutions, John Crawford and his team, in fact looking after a big part of the Formula 5000 Revival Series field. Heading into Cockram Nissan, Hadfield. Richards gets a little bit closer now to Stan Redman and already starting to get into the lap traffic. Well, we mentioned we've got a couple of Beggs in the field. George Begg, of course, from Southland. As Stuart Lush starts to get among the laptors, traffic there. It's Graham Smith by the look of it in the March. So what a difference in the speed for the front runners. Car number 76, one of the more unusual cars here at the Scope Classic. This is Munro Tools Reynard Formula Continental. As we go back to the front of the field. As we said, lapping in around about the 1:20 mark. Around the nearly 3 kilometre distance track here at Powerbuilt Tools International Raceway, Ruapuna. Hadfield about to pick up one of the sports cars. While this is a round of the Formula 5000 Flexoplast New Zealand Express Revival Series, it is also run under the Formula Libre rules. That's why we've got some of the sports cars, some of the Formula Atlantics, Formula Pacifics, and some of the non-traditional 5000s out there. This is a traditional 5000 though. This is car number 22, Stuart Lush in the McRae GM1, built in 1973 with a slightly longer wheelbase. For Graham McRae, raced in the UK in 1973. also raced in the UK by Chris Featherston, that for the last couple of years has been owned and raced by Stuart Lush. Ian Clements, Christchurch local, currently sits in second place. A bit of a lonely race for him because Hadfield's a fair way in front of him, and conversely he's a fair way in front of the battle for third and fourth, and that is of course Stuart Lush and Stan Redmond. There is Stuart Lush and Redmond on your screen at the moment. Right in behind them now it's Frank Lyons in the M26 McLaren in the Marlborough colours, as raced by James Hunt. This is one of the more unusual cars under the Formula Libre banner, car 96, Marcus Pye, and the Murray Sinclair owned Chevron, BMW power. Here is the race leader stalking some of the lap traffic now. Some of the more modern cars already being put a lap down, so it is Hadfield in the front. This man in second place, this is Ian Clements. In the Lola T332, then it's Marcus Pye. He is a lap down. A couple of Formula Fords out there as well. As we go back to the front of the field, and Simon Hadfield has led it from the flag fall, and he'll lead it to the checkered flag as well, so he wins the Sir Robertson Stewart Formula Libre Grand Prix here at the Scope Classic for 2006. So a look at the official results see Simon Hadfield taking the win in the Sir Robertson Stewart Grand Prix from Ian Clements, Stuart Lush, and number 15, that is Stan Redmond. Well, the man himself was available for the presentations, and it was Sir Robertson Stewart that handed the trophy to Simon Hadfield. Two starts, two wins.
Not too shabby. It's great that the weather cleared up. It's much more fun like this. A great circuit. I'm going to have fantastic memories of this place. What more can I say? Fabulous.
We'll have the final races from the Formula 5000 series for you in a couple of weeks. Time now for this week's Motorcycle Trader and News Report. Some bad news for New Zealand motocross fans. Motueka's Josh Coppins was unable to start in last week's Soldiers Grand Prix due to a serious shoulder injury. Coppins re-injured his shoulder training for the upcoming race. Coppins scheduled to go under the knife this week. He's expected to be out of action for 8 weeks. The race, round one of the 2006 World Motocross Championship, was held in typical Belgium conditions, wet and cold, but that didn't stop 9-time champion Stefan Everts from recording his 88th Grand Prix victory. Defending cross-country champion Brad Thomas had looked at very long odds to repeat the title win after a poor start to the championship in the opening round at Paihia Tour, where he could only manage 7th. But with a blistering run at round 2 near Mosgiel, the 29-year-old from Motueka was back on track and zeroing in on his 3rd consecutive cross-country crown. With 2 rounds to go and the ability to drop 1 round, it all looks good for Thomas. Current Australian Mr Motocross, Kiwi Darryl Hurley, started his title defence in fine style with 2 runaway wins at the first round of the Australian Outdoor Championship held last weekend at Wanneroo in Western Australia. In this month's Motorcycle Trader and News magazine, we have Germany's Neander Motors' unique new diesel. Ian Falloon brings us the Laverda 1003C. Yamaha has marked its motorcycle division's 50th birthday by creating what is surely the most technically radical Supersport 600 yet developed. And BMW's K1200R, it's unlike anything.
To finish this week's show, let's go to Rosebank Road for some more karting from the 2008 Kart Challenge, and this one's the Rotax Max Heavy class.
Still to come, we've got the final 125cc Rotax Max Heavy, but before then, let's catch up with Aaron Cunningham and Phil Saunders.
We've had 3 wins in a second, and really that's just been the way the dice have fallen, and I've got to the front at the right time. And the other guys are really hounding. You know, it's super competitive. You know, a lot more competitive than the results suggest. I'm signed with Lascom Motorsport, and they put me in the new Intrepid chassis, and that's really been working really well. And it's been quite quick.
Another in contention for the points is Hamilton's Phil Saunders.
The Cosmic Kart's working well, and the engine from JK's engines are performing really well. So Aaron's been right on the tail, been pushing me. He's had 3 wins, I've had 1, 2 seconds and a 3rd, so he's about 2 points ahead of me in standings at the moment, so I'll try to bring that back today.
So a close contest in the Rotax Max Heavy, brought to you by Marshall Batteries, and away they go, and the best of the starts looks like it's going to come from Aaron Cunningham down on the inside. Is he going to push Saunders out wide? He does so. So Phil Saunders goes back into second place. Now, as the name suggests, there is a Rotax Max Light, and in the heavy class, the kart and driver must weigh a minimum weight of 185 kilograms. In the lights, it's 160. So Saunders back in front now, Cunningham through in second spot. And they've been doing this right throughout the 2 days of the Total Span City of Sales 2-day challenge. Saunders from Hamilton. But the man kind of on home soil is Aaron Cunningham. He's the club captain at his home club of Mount Wellington. Been racing a long, long time now, plenty of experience. But at the moment, he hasn't got an answer to Saunders sitting up there in first place. Stu Marshall through in third, kart number 13. And then it's Brent Humphrey by the look of it, kart number 5, following them up in fourth place. Well, as the name suggests, powered by Rotax 125cc engines. And once again, in kart sport, you see such close racing, and that's what we've got here. Paul Dunkley just slipping off the back of this little group. At the front, it's still Saunders, then it is Cunningham. Then in third place, it would be Stu Marshall, then Brent Humphrey. And as I said at the back, number 21, and that is Paul Dunkley. Aaron Cunningham with the Intrepid chassis. This man just hunkering down, trying to get as aerodynamic as possible as he goes down the long chute here at the Pallet Company Raceway. 650 metres a lap. As number 5 just gets a little bit closer, that's Brent Humphrey starting to put the pressure on Stu Marshall. That's the battle for third and fourth. But they are lined astern as they try and chase down the past North Island champion, and that is Hamilton's Phil Saunders. Well, this is an international formula. In fact, for the Rotax Max Challenge, there's plenty of overseas travel in the offing. And these guys at the front have all been and done some racing overseas. Saunders, Cunningham in first and second, then it's Marshall, then it's Humphrey. So no change, the front four getting a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. And just tagging onto the back of that one is Brent Humphrey, kart number 5. And if anything, Saunders looks to be getting away just a little bit from Aaron Cunningham. And maybe some daylight starting to appear between third as well. Here comes the challenge though from Brent Humphrey down the inside on Stu Marshall. Can't make the pass work. No change at the front of the field. He's led it from the second corner, and that is Phil Saunders from Hamilton, kart number NI. Cunningham in second place, then it's Marshall, then it's Humphrey. That's the front four. In behind them, we had number 21, Paul Dunkley. 28, Anthony Mertz is in there. So too is number 15, Mike Grimshaw. They're a lot of way out of the picture at the moment as we concentrate on this enthralling battle at the front of the field. Cunningham trying everything in his vast book of tricks to try and get past Saunders. Just can't quite do it at the moment. For the future, these guys looking pretty rosy. A lot of them will want to move into open wheel racing, in the Toyota Racing Series being the next dropping off point, if you like, for a lot of these young men. Well, maybe they'll start in Formula Ford or Formula First. It'll be an open wheel formula for sure, because karting really does teach them racecraft, and that's what we're seeing from this front four. No change. They've been that way since the green flag fell. It's still Marshall and Humphrey battling out for third and fourth, and at the front it's Saunders and Cunningham. And the laps start to wind down here. Remember, this is the 8th and final heat of the Total Span City of Sales 2-day challenge for the Marshall Batteries Senior Rotax Max Heavy. And, well, I think he's going to do it. It doesn't look to me that Aaron Cunningham's got anything for Phil Saunders at the moment. Is he going to come through with the win? They're as close as you like, but the laps are winding down here at the Pallet Company Raceway. Happy to say dry conditions today. Yesterday wasn't too good, but today the racing's been supreme. The weather has been as well. As Aaron Cunningham, well, he's running out of time now if he wants to get around Phil Saunders. 1 lap to go. Saunders from Hamilton, Mount Wellington's Aaron Cunningham, the club captain. A famous name in karting, and is he going to get a famous result here? Shakes his head, he knows he made a small mistake then. And Saunders has just capitalised on it a little bit. And you can win these races by 100th of a second. It's going to be a little bit more than that in it, but not a tenth, I wouldn't think, because Cunningham starts to come on strong as they run down towards the flag now. But it's Saunders that gets the win. Cunningham will go across the line in second place, and then it'll be Stuart Marshall, Brent Humphrey, Anthony Murch, and then Gary Capman. Overall, it will be Aaron Cunningham's total span City of Sales 2-day challenge from Phil Saunders and Brent Humphrey.
Managed a couple of wins and a second and a third, and really we got lucky to win the race meeting. With a couple of incidents that happened down the field and slowed down the other fast guys. Yeah, it all came out for the best, I guess. I'm hoping to, it'll boost my confidence obviously, and going to the nationals at Easter, and just really building up that track time as well, just to hopefully outdo myself at the nationals this year.
That's it for this week. See you next week for more Retro Motorsport.
You'd have to say as we're back on board with the circuit here at Pyra. Hence the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers and through the smoke we come.